I just posted I do 2D 3D art and animation if you need.
So let's get this thing set up. Sean, you ready?
I am ready.
All right, let's go live. You're seeing the Discord, yay?
Yay.
Off to the slide. Let's do this. So, welcome everybody to the Central Florida version of Global Game Jam. Right, what's that mean? It's pretty much everybody that's in the local area to Full Sail, but it hasn't been kind of limited to that. Here's some of the people that help us put the event together. Full Sail, obviously, because it provides us some tools and it provides us some space. Orbis are the people that are going to help us kind of organize the event. They're part of Full Sail as well. Indianomicon does help out. When we overflow, they're a space downtown. They're physical, but they are pay to work there. And then GP Games is the studio that we house inside of campus. So what is a game jam for us? Real quickly, world's largest game jam. There's plenty of them out there, but this is the one that spans the full globe by design, right? They have a 48-hour version is the original. If you guys check out the YouTube link that's later on in the slides, or it's inside of our Discord in the general chat for the theme reveal, it goes over the history of Game Jam. Originally, it was only 48 hours, so we would fire it up on Friday, close the doors on Sunday. There is now an extended version where you guys can work from today until the day the event closes on the 5th, and it'll be virtual, right? Why is it virtual for the extended version? Well, because we all have jobs, right? A lot of us are volunteering after hours to make this event happen, and yeah, that's pretty much the biggest reason. We still do house, though, the 48-hour version for you guys that want the classic, right, appeal. What's going to happen on that day is today we're going to spend most of our time getting everybody set up, getting them organized, getting them their roles, getting them teams. Then on Friday, we're going to do the second batch, right, for the next group. So if you missed the boat on day one, you can join throughout the week or just wait till Friday and join a fresh team. Either way, you're going to get the same experience. It's just going to be longer with the extended version. We don't have prizes, unfortunately, because we don't have a budget, but we do create category placement event at the end. So this is a by vote who's the best in whatever category by the jammers, right? In the event that things are close or tied, then we'll go to voting by the volunteers and the organizers. But normally you guys do a good job of picking out who the winners are. And then the main goal of the event is just to collaborate with people, right? Can you fly solo in the game jam? Yeah, you can, but it's not kind of one of the core tenets of the event. Part of the global game jam is, to make something cool or try to make something that can be played in the time frame, but it's also making connections with people. And you'll see once we get to the server how that works out in our event, right? This link will be posted inside of the Discord server under general, but it gives a brief overview of what the global game jam is in a nutshell. I just kind of went over it already. The theme is not top secret. That's a copy paste error. They already posted it. What is the theme? It's roots, right? You'll see in a bit. There's some other kind of particulars, right? Global game jam. The event is 18 up. Anything else you need to enter with a guardian or register in the Global Game Jam next event. This year they decided to run them both in tandem. So if you need access to that site or you have people in your group, in your family, friends, right, in your network that want to attend the event but don't meet the 18 and up criteria, then just let us know. We'll try and get you in contact with whoever's running the next. The other thing is there's legal policies all of the assets are required to be free to use, um, Creative Commons assets, or created in-house. Why is that? Well, because you got to make sure that they're free to use, and also part of the event is to get to know people that do these things, right? So um, we'll try and get that squared away for you guys in the beginning of the event when we create teams, so that way you do have individuals that can fill those roles. Otherwise, have fun, stay healthy. Stay healthy for sure is the most important, right? Availability for your team is super important during this event. And then there's the rest of the FAQ over here. So, like I said, the theme for the event this year is roots. You can take that however you want, right? That's the fun of the game jam is you get to interpret what roots mean to you, right? It can be roots for you, roots for your team, roots for an idea. It doesn't really matter. Here's the whole link of the video. I'm not going to play it like I normally do when we do these opening ceremonies. Why? Because it's a 5-hour long video. I don't think you guys want to sit in chat for 5 hours to watch a video with me. You might want to just to ask questions, but I don't think in general that's the idea. So what I will say is grab the link. It's posted somewhere in the general channel and watch it in your downtime, right? There's a lot of useful information for you that are brand new to the game jam to see where they came from all those years ago. And just so you guys have a little bit of history, our game jam site has been running since the beginning of Global Game Jam. So we've been around for a while. Diversifiers, if you guys haven't gone through a game jam, which some of you guys have already stated you haven't, these are just extras to add to your project design. What do they do for you? They give you a cool marker on your project submission on the game jam site, the official one. If you want to see the whole list, just go to this link. We'll post that as well, so that way you can start keying them into your product. I will say though, if it comes down to it and you guys are against the time limit and everything's on fire, try and get your game up and running. The diversifiers can be added later, right? Will they still make it to the official Global Game Jam filter? No. What they do is, as you submit these on the 5th, they will grab those builds that you submit on the 5th, the ones that have submitted by that day, and that is the ones that qualify for diversifiers. They will not do a second pass. We are efforting towards creating an on-campus event. Again, this is coming down to, do we have any resources to man the space? Also, it will only be on campus if we have it from Friday to Sunday. We will not run the campus event all week. That will be purely virtual on our server, right? But in the off chance that we do get enough volunteers to man this space over the weekend, this is where we're going to live. We're going to live inside of our game studio. Remember at the beginning, GP Games? Well, this is where it lives. The general flow of our site is this, right? Day one, you can substitute Friday for day one. Saturday is going to be kind of like the in-between days, and then Sunday's the wrap-up day. These two never change. This one just extends throughout the week. What we're going to do is make sure that you guys are all checked in, get all your roles ready, that the Discord server is set up for you. We went over the theme at this point. We're going to set up some teams. Your work area is going to be a channel or a channel and a text channel and a voice channel in our Discord server. And by the end of today, hopefully you have an idea of what you want to make, right? In the end, we try and get to our first playable as quickly as possible. Why? Because everybody's tired, right? There's the emotion of getting started in the event, all of that part, getting used to your teams. That takes a lot out of people in the beginning, so we try and get to a first playable, what is that? Just a build with a mechanic by the end of the night. Put that up somewhere where people can gain access to it, and then everybody goes home and starts their day fresh again, right? And then we're just gonna rinse and repeat this middle section, make some playable versions, grab some enthusiasts. So one of the things in here that we do have is we have this floater role, which is an enthusiast. They are not required to actually create anything. All they're there for is to experience the event, see how it happens, see how games are made, and then chime in whenever they can. So one of the things that we've given them to do over the years is play test the builds or ask questions, right? So they'll be jumping in and out of your server throughout the event. Another thing that we have is we do developer interviews for our Twitch. Yeah, we do have a Twitch. It's somewhere in the server. I don't know if we've posted the credentials, but it's pretty easy to find. Make your playables and then submit your build. What I will say for the final day, right? It's pretty quick how things start to stack on each other. Their server has been historically bad to upload to when you get to the final day. So we try and submit early, right? Most teams will try and submit at 5, and that bogs down the server. In the past, they've had to spin up second servers just for uploading. Take it for what it is. We'll try and get you there early so that way, once the event is done, again, you guys can go get some rest because this event is a beast. What else do we have going on, right? Like I said, the developer interviews will be in between the event. We'll try and not take you out of your flow too often. If anything, we'll post to you guys and see what time is best that you join these things. But this is our Twitch. This is where our stuff will be on. There's best in category. We do allow pre-made teams. So if you want to bring your team in, just let us know and we'll create the space for you. And if you don't want to create something digital, you can always create an analog game. We have people in our volunteer list that specialize in those, right? So they're always happy to help out if you don't want to do that. Only thing would be here is on the Game Jam site, there's a different requirement for your submission. Another thing that you guys can do is everybody has social media at this point. If you want to get a word out for us or your project, show people what you're capable of doing in a short time frame. Remember, networking is a big thing, and I'll show you also why that is important in our server in particular, right? But here's our particulars. We'll post this in the Discord somewhere so you can just grab these and tag them wherever you decide to put your stuff up there, right? Resources for everybody. Here's some good stuff historically to help you out. Jammer resources from GGJ, royalty-free stuff, and then list of game engines. If you guys haven't created games before or you're just starting and you don't know which engine to start with or you know what engines are available, here's a great place to start. In our server, there's this channel right here where jammers from the past have left links and helpful information on things that they attempted to do or were successful with. Google's always a good help. And then in our server, just ask for help, right? We've got people that are always on, even if you don't find the person you've been communicating with throughout the event, just at one of us and we'll get a hold of them, right? So let's jump over to the server so you guys can see where we're working, right? It's a super important piece of the event. Right now, what you're seeing is the default jammer view. Some of you guys have different roles, right? Ask an admin is usually where we hang out when you're asking questions to volunteers or organizers. Live stream is when we're interviewing you guys. And then here's some extra stuff that you can jump into, right? Looking for a group, looking for more. If you have a group that's already existing, you just need specific spots. What I will say is if you don't have a team, go ahead and give yourself the free agent role so you pop into this list. and it helps the organizers figure out who's available and who needs a new home, right? Like I said, this useful links and tools is here for you guys. Um, these help channels are specifically for these disciplines. Over here, we have a bunch of industry individuals that do this for a living already, right? So you can ask them questions. You're going to live somewhere in the team area for 2023. It doesn't show up by default for the jammer. I don't know why. I'll check the role later. And then there's a bunch of other stuff in here that is useful post game jam, right? Networking, milestone, bills, industry events. This server doesn't live too active past the event, but we do see things pop in all the time. The good thing is, once you're in here, it's up to you to get out, right? We keep you guys here until you want to jump ship, because we want you guys to make connections with people that are in our server, right? Start sharing things that you're doing. So those are the basics. In here, in the text channels, some of these will pop open depending on your roles. And also down here, when you get your team, you'll get another section. But that's the general layout of our server, right? Important people to admins will almost always be in rotation throughout the event. One of us will be on. If you see this admin list empty, we're in stealth mode, we're still here, right? You can still add us. Volunteers, there's going to be a bunch of them that pop in and out. Some of them have specialties. I know Albert just messaged me letting me know that he will be available to answer any and all Unity questions. Why? Because he works there, right? Hector's Microsoft, and there's a whole bunch of other people that you may know, right? Especially if you guys are from Full Sail, you can see already there's a couple of Hall of Famers floating around in here that you can get to talk to, right? You get some one-on-one time with these guys. What better networking tool to have at your disposal? Let's go back. Bloop. Oh, that was really quick. So if you guys have questions, you can ask now, but really it's easier to just grab us off of this cast, and we can answer you specific. But if you have any right now that are just kind of general, go ahead and ask.
When can we start like production on the game?
You guys can start as soon as your team is set. What I will say is, we normally jump into every team's channel and make sure you have, at minimum, your engine, your project idea, and some form of saving your project via Git or Perforce or what have you. Whatever source control, just to save yourselves and your project.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. And we'll help you out setting up if you haven't done it before. Or if you have questions, you have problems getting set up. We are pros at that. Good question, though. Any other questions?
So just to clarify, we can start working once everything's set up and we could still show up for on campus. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you start, so let me kind of go over that one. If you start now in the virtual version, if we do host the campus event, you guys are more than welcome to join us.
Cool. Most of us are our campus, but I think we have one person that might be online, if that's okay. They're mainly just doing music, I believe. So
yeah, totally. Any other questions?
So yeah. When is the final build for submission due? Is it on midnight leading up to the 5th, or can we work until the 5th and then
right
submit? Okay.
3 p.m. on Sunday.
And that's Eastern, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I did this before I started designating time zones. Yeah, we do 3 p.m. because the server is still kind of quiet. Once it gets to 4 o'clock, no, that thing is full of people submitting.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Oh, I didn't go over this one. There is a showcase at the end, right? So what we try and do is same way we did for this one, we'll get people into the voice chat, we'll stream it, and you get to talk about your game, show off what you did, right? Talk about the cool things that you were able to create. Everybody loves to see it, but everybody's busy until this time, so nobody actually gets to see each other's stuff. It's a crazy thing about the event. But you'll get your time to shine, which is fantastic.
I have a generic question. How do we submit a build?
All right. Throughout the week, the best way that we do this is if it's small enough, you can put it on a Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, doesn't matter, and link it to us. Or if it's a large project, we might have to work on getting access to your repository to check it out. But we'll find a way.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? I know it's a bunch of information. I apologize. Those of you that have worked with me in the past know that that's just my MO. I will hit you with a wall of text.
Can you show the slide of the building that we're gonna be on Sunday?
Oh yeah, sure. So here's the space, right? On campus, it's over by Live, if you guys know that space. It's up on the second floor above the audio room or the audio temple. And then this is just generic workspace.
This is Blackmore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say for those who are on campus and familiar with it, this is Blackmore.
Oh yeah. So weird, like having mostly full sailors.
That's a good question for you.
Yeah.
So one of the slides said something about what kind of assets we're allowed to use.
Yeah.
And there's supposed to be DC0 stuff.
This one.
So if you're using something like Unreal and you bought something from the marketplace, we're not allowed to use those in it?
Or the game jam, I don't think they allow it.
Okay. Thank you.
So you're welcome. You can always check the FAQ, see if they've updated it. I know in the past versions they haven't.
What did you just say?
They allow you to use free assets from the marketplace and the asset store. But mostly they want you to create custom stuff.
Okay.
Obviously,
Sounds good. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, obviously if you're a team with devs, you're not going to spend all your time like making art. All right, I jumped all over somebody. Who was talking?
I was just gonna follow up on that. So that would probably include like mega scans and stuff.
See, I don't know if mega scans are free, yeah?
Yeah, it's free and it's built into Unreal Engine now, but it's technically only for Unreal Engine. I'm not sure exactly what the licensing on it is.
I think if it's free, it's all right.
Yeah, it Mega Scans should fall under it. I know it's built in for UE5, but not for UE4.
Right.
But all of Mega Scans is completely free, so I'm pretty sure it falls under that Creative Commons. But you can check on that website to get specifics.
Gotcha. Because I thought I remembered something about it. It's free if you use Unreal Engine, and I didn't know if there was specifications on like pricing or something.
I can't think off the top of my head if there were any. So I would say no. But we'll check into that for you on the organizer side if you can't find it yourself.
All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? These are all good points, by the way. Stuff that I should probably cover. There goes that to-do list again.
Just keep adding more and more to the to-do.
I tell you what, man, never ends. Never ends. Keeps me employed. That's what it is. I do this for free, so I don't know if I'm employed. Whatever.
Another one for you.
Ah, go team, go. All right.
So-
What else you got?
Contract protections.
Definitely reminds me of Funner Project.
Funny you should say that. We're pretty much structured the same way. Why? Because the formula works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found over the years, we used to be a little bit more hands off when I first started. It was like, welcome to the show. All right, you guys are together, go. And then we'll see you in 3 days. What happened with that was there was a lot of failed projects and people that wanted to create content, but either ran out of functional gameplay to show off their work or were not having a good time on their teams. And they just kind of like suffered in silence. And that's not what we want, right? We want you to enjoy the event. Let's go back. Matter of fact, that brings me to a better point, right? For those of you that are filling a role, which will be pretty much all of you, if you find throughout the jam that you are not meshing with your team for whatever reason, I mean, it can run in whatever direction throughout the game jam. But if you find that you're not being productive or your team isn't what you want to have during the jam, or you just outdid the pace of the team and you want to work on more stuff for content creators, let somebody know in the volunteers and we'll reassign you to another team. That way you enjoy the event and get some cool stuff out. We've had audio and artists work on multiple projects during the game jam, and they showcased at the end for all of them. So that was fantastic. There is a code of conduct. You guys have to read it, abide by it throughout the jam. We have our own when we have our campus event. I'll post that if it opens up, but it's generally the same thing. Be nice, create a good work environment, no harassment, none of that stuff, right? Zero tolerance. We'll kick you out.
Another question for you.
Yep.
Not related to code of conduct, but
Yep.
Do they have any sort of like late submission or maybe patches and stuff after you release your game?
Yeah.
Like after you
can submit new versions of your game after the event closed, but to qualify for diversifiers and whatever award ceremonies they have internally at the game jam, it has to be the one that's in by Sunday 5 p.m. Oh, yeah, you can always update the build later. We do that with like crash bugs, and they still exist normally. Although we try and find them as best we can throughout the jam. Sometimes it just gets through.
Quick question. Will this slide be available for us to see and review during the jam?
Yeah. It's being recorded right now, so that way everybody else has access to it. Because I know one of the big draws to the extended version is that everybody's working or in class doing stuff. So we try and take advantage of the extra 5 days. But yeah, you'll have access to it. You'll probably get access to the slide deck too, although once we post all the links, you really don't need the slides. I just like to overshare.
This may be a dumb question, but the game that we create is ours, right? The teams. We can go on and do more to it and put it out.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so as far as your game idea, good question. It's the IP is yours. You can take it wherever you want to, continue to work on it. It is your IP. The only thing that Game Jam has access to is to use you as part of their marketing, right? Same thing with Full Sail, Indie, Orbis, and Game Jams, right? All we use it is for getting the word out about the event and using you guys as ammunition for our marketing. The game is yours, and as recently as last jam, we had people take the one that they created at our site, apply to a different site, and then enter their competitions because they were giving stuff away, and also release their game. So you have the ability to do all of that with your IP. And there's been some really good ones. Some that were really good and they just never finished, which I was sad about. That was the long-winded answer to your question. I apologize.
No, it was good. Thank you.
Any other questions? Before we get started on the fun part, which is team creation. No? That's fine. We got plenty of time. We'll be together for a whole week going over stuff. And just making sure I didn't forget anything. Nope. All right, team selection it is. Sweet. So let's go back to our Discord. And from here on out, the only thing that we're required from you guys is, again, to sign yourself up as free agents if you don't have a team. There's a couple of other channels that you might see. There is the looking for more. If you already have your team, post in here what you're looking for. We'll try and match you. Looking for a group, just to know, we know you're a free agent, but you can post in here kind of like your specialties, whatever you want, or whatever role you want to fill in the game jam, and then see if somebody picks you up. Give it about an hour. We're going to sweep through whoever's remaining as a free agent. We will try and shop you around, find you a home. And by the end of tonight, the goal is that you guys are all on teams and you've at least talked about and settled on the main mechanic of your game. That's another thing that we should probably go over with the game jam. Try and keep it as simple as possible. The time goes by really fast. What does well in our format is a single mechanic game that you do really well. And then you start adding stuff throughout the remaining time, right? Try not to mix too many mechanics at once. Obviously, if you've worked together before, you can get away with more. But if you're brand new and there's people new to your group, then you're going to have plenty enough challenges with just one mechanic. So try and keep them simple. And we'll advise you at some point. Oh, the other thing. You'll see us hop in and out of your channels throughout the night. And the next day, the volunteers and the admin, we're going to jump into your team channels, kind of check in with you, see where you're at, make sure that you're at least hitting the major markers, the major milestones throughout the week, and providing any assistance that we can. Again, there's plenty of people that have experience in our management tier on whatever engine it is you can think of using, right? There are plenty of people in here that have experience doing those things, as well as source control. Like, they all live in there. So don't sit there and struggle for too long on what you're working on. We want you to learn. We want you to extend your skills, but try and keep the frustration down to a minimum because you don't have much time. And then we'll set you up for hopefully success, right? I'm excited to see what you guys can come up with in the time frame. So that's all I got for you as far as this presentation goes to get you started, right? If you don't have a role, you don't know how to find it, just at me in the server, and then I'll see if I can help you out, right? Otherwise, good luck. Enjoy, stay healthy, drink water, get some rest where you can, but make cool stuff. No more questions. All right. Sean, you can stop the recording. We're going to hop off and go do some work.